Now, I'm going to admit that I watched the Power Rangers TV show when I was growing up, mainly because I loved Voltron, and it was basically just a copy of that. As much as I like the series, and I'm going to admit I actually went to the theater to watch the movie, I know I couldn't have been the only one who hoped that just once they would lose. What I disliked about the series was often they would get into a situation they couldn't conquer, and they just pull a new power out of their ass and save the day. It never failed. Believe it or not, the Power Rangers will be starting up their 19th season. It's unbelievable. I had no idea it was still going on. I gave up on the series when they went to space. I could run with this idea with a bunch of costume kids saving the world, but the second they decide to go into space? Now that's just ridiculous. The graphics looked alright. They were definitely not anything awe-inspiring. Most of the levels looked the same, with a couple exceptions. Even when they changed up the level's look, they kept the same feel of the stages, which was nothing more than go left, then up, then down, then right. It was a very simplistic game design. The levels all start out with a storyline, which is told through static shots and text bubbles. However, I did appreciate the fact that it's fully voiced, and it seems like the plot lines were based on TV episodes. It wasn't just a couple seconds of story and then the fighting starts. It could go on for 2 minutes or more. It was a bit strange when they didn't use the real actors' faces when they were out in public, like when they were at the amusement park having fun. They were in their Power Rangers getup like they never take them off. The game is mostly a beat 'em up, where bad guys just appear and you're going to need to take them down using your sword on them. There was only 2 attacks, your regular attack and a super attack. The super attacks use magic power, so you're going to need to conserve those. There's also a blocking move if you want to counter the attacks that get launched at you. One of the more unique things about this game is that you don't really have to fight a good deal of bad guys. Just walk or run right past them. You'll get better scores, which will increase your stats in later levels, but if you don't care, you could just run right by some of them. Now the game will force you to fight occasionally, but the fights were pretty simple until you get to the boss, and then things get real. I was fully expecting easy boss battles, since the game had been fairly easy until then, because essentially this is just a kid's game. But I learned my lesson as the first boss was beating me into the ground and spitting on my corpse for the 3rd time in a row. It was very frustrating to die on the very first boss. You're going to need to block an attack. They fully expect you to master these moves by the time you get to the very first boss. If you beat the boss, he'll grow in size and you're going to need to call the Zords to make a giant robot and take down this overgrown bad guy. So you would expect some hard gameplay at this point, because taking the boss down at first was really tough. Nope, it's pretty easy. In fact, the title changes its gameplay completely. Now it becomes kind of like a rhythm game, where you swing your Wiimote or your nunchuck at the right time. Now when you swing your Wiimote, when the icon goes over the center of the screen, it slashes your sword. Then when the nunchuck icon appears in the center, you swing your nunchuck to block the attack that's coming. You really have no control over when you attack it. You kind of have to do it when the game tells you to do it. Then they show you killing the monster and all is right in the world until the next attack. You'll get graded on how you did and get experience points, and then you just keep doing that for a few levels. Now all the levels can be played 2 players cooperatively, and I do have to say the boss battles were a lot easier with 2 players. So if you're having a lot of trouble, go get a friend to help you play this game. It is 10 times easier. Power Rangers Samurai was alright. It wasn't anything that you're going to go back to after you beat it, but at least it was entertaining till the end. Now this game was definitely made for fans of the series, and they will enjoy it. So if you have a few hours to kill, I would suggest you and a friend play this game. So I do think it is worth a rent.